bright day. It's the finale event at the equestrian venue, the individual show jumping. Back for the second round, Bill Stein-Kraus. And what a battle we have with only 2 clear rounds in the first test that these riders have faced today.
It's a real thriller, Chris, and we've got then 5 riders with 4 faults, among them 2 riders from the United States. So all 3 United States riders are very much in the hunt for the medals. We have a very big course. The second course is shorter, but it's bigger. There are only 10 fences. Most of the fences are different fences this time. The heart of this course starts with the 3rd fence, which is an enormous oxer. And let me show you the way it looked when I walked it just a few minutes ago.
All right. Joining Bill Stein-Kraus now on the course earlier, the second round course.
First big question on this course is, can you jump a big oxer? It's fence number 3. I'm 5'10". As I step up to this oxer, you can see it somewhere up around 5'6", 5'7", and it's spread 6'3". If you can answer that question successfully, you go on to the 3 combination.
Thank you.
The 3 combination starts straightforwardly enough. The wall isn't all that big. The distance from the wall to the oxer isn't all that big, but there's water underneath the oxer. A lot of horses won't know that until they jump in. They jump in, take a good stride, 1, 2, 3, 4. They can jump it from here if they don't mind the water. And if they jump that one, they've got another water following. The distance again is okay. It's 2 strides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. But they're Liverpools, there's water underneath, they're big fences, and that's a serious question to ask these horses. Now let's see what the last combination looks like. The final combination is just a great big 2 combination. It starts over that same redwood triple bar, but that's about 5'6" now, and it's spread 7'2". The distance inside is a pretty nice distance. Let's walk it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're in a perfect spot. It's about a 25-foot distance. But this is 5'3". If you override anything in order to jump the triple bar, very likely you could have this fence down. So this is the last big question on the course, and it's a serious one.
Course designer Bert Denemethe. 10 fences or obstacles, 13 jumping efforts for the horses who have not seen this course. The riders have had the opportunity to walk it, as Bill Stein-Kraus just did, so they know what it's like. But how will the horses react? In the individual Grand Prix jumping, this is Gerardo Tazer of Mexico. The optimum time is 80 seconds for the water jump, and now a double at the end of this 10 obstacle or fence course with 13 jumping efforts, well within the time, only 1 knockdown, 4 penalty points to go along with his 12 this morning. So that gives him a total of, he has 8 on this round. That gives him a total of 20 points, Bill. And as we have seen, the 11th rider of 27 who made it into the second round, 25 plus ties. Our best round is 4 thus far, and that was Peter Luther of West Germany on Livius.
Yes, I really thought Gerardo was going to have a clear round. Let's see what happened to him in the 2 combination. He really checked quite strongly coming into it. His horse just kind of dropped down and took a bad stride, landed out of stride, and had them both down for a score of 8 and a total of 20.
He leaves the course now. Tazer of Mexico, a total of 20. Second round of 2 rounds, individual Grand Prix jumping. The team competition has ended, the United States winning the gold. But starting this morning, there were 51 riders from 21 nations that accepted the challenge. They then cut the field at 25 in ties, which met 27. And quickly the scoring, it's very simple. That's why this is such a beautiful and popular form of competition around the world. A knockdown is 4. First refusal is 3, second 6, third is elimination. So here you can knock down a fence, you can get your feet in the water, Bill, too, because we do have a wide spread on the water jump.
That's quite correct. And here we have, starting on course, a horse that I really like, maybe a horse that's a year or two short of really being in his best games form, Big Ben, ridden by Ian Miller of Canada. Ian is really one of the nicest riders in the world. His horses go so beautifully for him. This is a big, strong horse who looks like he's got plenty of Olympic scope. It wouldn't surprise me to see him jump the first clear round of the second course.
Peter Luther with 1 knockdown or 4 penalty points. The best round thus far. Here's what they call a Beverly Hills oxer. Too much.
Big Ben got a little bit too close to that near rail and had it down. That's a big oxer. You have to ride the approach right on the nose to have a chance to jump it cleanly.
Optimum time of 80 seconds. Time really doesn't matter that much, but if we have a jump off in case of ties for medals, then they race against the clock. That could happen today, right, Bill?
Very easily could. Ian had a block out of the wall, so that's another 4 faults. He's now working on 8. But they seed these horses so that they're in the reverse order of their standing coming into this last round. And that means the leading horses go last. And we will be biting our fingernails, Chris, right down to the last horse to go.
Several countries really represented. A tie for the lead with no faults in the first round. Michael Whitaker of Great Britain and Joe Farges of the United States. 5 were tied with only 1 knockdown. Conrad Homfeld, the United States, Bruno Candrian of Switzerland, Mario Delorier of Canada, Melanie Smith of the USA, and Heidi Robiane. So it's a total of 8 penalty points on this, the second round, and final for him, a total of 20. San Gabriel Mountains in the background. We're at Santa Anita, second round of individual Grand Prix.
In the Bible, the book of Job asks, "Hast thou given the horse strength? Hast thou clothed his neck with thunder? He swallows the ground with fierceness and rage."
Okay, Jack Whitaker and the San Gabriel Mountains in the background, and the ring for competition as it's been throughout these Olympic Games at Santa Anita. 250 by almost 600 feet is that vast arena, which included show jumping and dressage of the 3-day test, also the dressage individual and team, and now the last event, individual Grand Prix show jumping. This rider from Japan just went, Seiuchi Toki. Watch.
Trying to emulate the performance of his countryman who won a gold medal here in 1932, Baron Takaishi Nishi. But this was not a day for Japan today.
1 refusal, 3 penalty points. But he came back another time, refused, 1 more time, elimination. Those are the rules. Very simple in the sport of Grand Prix show jumping, Bill. So off he goes, and up comes Timmy Grubb. Oh, yes. This is we love Linky.
Linky's a nice horse. He's been training in the United States. Timmy lives here most of the year because he's married to a former American show jumper, Michelle McAvoy. And he shows on the Florida circuit and on the East Coast. His training has been very good because with this nice horse, he was able to jump a clear round in the Nations Cup. He had 8 1/4 faults over the first course today. And he's in the hunt, really. Well, that hurts a little bit. That big oxer has to be approached absolutely perfectly or the horses can't jump it. We haven't, in fact, had a clear round yet over course B, although I think the riders walking course B felt it didn't present quite as sophisticated challenges as the course A that Berthelon de Nemeth had created.
First round this morning, course A. Now the second round.
You see why I like him so much, Chris?
Oh, sure.
He really is a nice horse. And he's got a wonderful attitude.
They fit well together. Timmy Grubb of Great Britain, 8 1/4 the first round. Now he has 1 knockdown. Rubs or touches do not count, remember. 10 obstacles, 13 jumping efforts, optimum time 80 seconds. In the event of a tie for any of the 3 medals, at the end of this all, there will be a jump off, time jump off, water clear. Now the double at the end. Just knocks the rail off, Bill, and that's 8. Make it 9 because of time penalties, and it's a total of 9 plus 8 1/4, 17 1/4 for Timmy Grubb. We have about 12 more riders to go, and we get to the good ones, those even without faults this morning. We'll be back after this. In the final day, final equestrian competition, we have 10 riders left, and this is one of them from France. 30-year-old Frédéric Cotier, Flambeau Say, a 13-year-old chestnut gelding, French bred, coming in with 8 penalty points in the hunt.
In the hunt, this is a very clean jumper, a very, very beautiful horse. Was already a member of the 1982 World Championship team, so you know that Flambeau Say with Frédéric Cotier is no slouch.
Remember, we have a tie after the first round between Joe Fargis of the United States, Michael Whitaker. Clear rounds, then 5 tied with only 1 knockdown earlier today.
Good start for Flambeau Say. Flambeau had a water jump problem in the morning, and the water is in this same afternoon course. I wonder if anything will change.
Now the Beverly Hills Oxer. Biggest problem thus far?
A little bit bad. It's a very big fence.
And that's the one you described on your course walk, Bill, and showed us the spread and the height.
Well, I would like to have gotten right in the middle of it, actually, but I would have disappeared if you tried to look for me with a camera, Chris. It's a very big oxer. Not as big as the one we had at Mexico in 1968, but it's still big enough. Look at what a nice horse this is, though. You see how he comes through the 3 combination, which is also not small, and makes it look easy.
Only 4 penalty points now for Frédéric Cotier of France, coming in with 8. Total of 12 now at number 7. Now turning toward the wall, and then the water jump that Bill was talking about.
Will he jump the water this time? Yes, well clear of it this time. Oh, boy.
Beautiful. Only the second round with 9 riders to go that have done it with 1 knockdown. Frédéric Cotier. The heavy hitters are coming up here at Santa Anita, and we'll be back for them. Parker's Deister, the 13-year-old gelding. Oh, there's the first fence down, 4 faults.
Just sat on that rail a little bit. This is a wonderful combination of horse and rider. Twice European champions, 3 times winner of the Grand Prix of Aachen. But I think that Paul thought coming to Los Angeles that this was going to be his year for an Olympic gold. Sadly, it's not to be.
His brother Alvin winning the gold at Montreal. We were there to cover it at those games. 76 over the water and clear there. So now, Bill, we have 2 riders with 2 rounds that have 12 faults. Frédéric Cotier and Paul Shakamula. We'll be back after this.
Take your brother.
Are left. We now move to a rider that this morning had only 5 1/4 penalty points. Luis Astolfi of Spain.
Chris, I would say this was the only real surprise of the morning round. Luis had not gone that well in the Nations Cup. He had no less than 56.5 faults in the Nations Cup, but he jumped an excellent round this morning, and he's in a position now to put some pressure on these big shots that follow, because the real heavy hitters of our sport are to come last.
Clean at the Beverly Hills Oxer. Now to the sailboat. We have 5 combinations that are tied at 4. We have 2 riders, Joe Fargis and Michael Whitaker, who this morning had clear rounds. The only 2 out of a field of 51. The best thus far, 2 rides of 4 penalty points.
Oh, boy, what a beautiful jump he made over the middle fence, but he had to reach a little bit too much for the last one and couldn't quite jump it. So it's 4 faults so far for Luis Astolfi. Spain has 2 riders going late. The United States has 3 riders going late.
Switzerland has 2 going late. And Great Britain 1. 2 women in that group. Heidi Robiani and Melanie Smith. They're at the water. Final double.
Oh, the last fence falls. He also has half a time fault, giving him a total of 8.5 for this round and 13 3/4 overall.
We'll be back. Grand Prix final, the second round. And with His Excellency Juan Antonio Samaranch, President of the International Olympic Committee, watching here at Santa Anita Park, here is 37-year-old Luis Alvarez Cervera. He had a good morning, only 4 1/4 points, Bill.